All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. It's Monday daytime. All right. Steven's here. Ivan's here. What's up, guys? How's it going? Tossing that over there. Today, we got a new thing going on. We got Miss Tammy's slabs here. Tammy wants some cards sold. So now we are taking on more commission slabs. Let's see. Get some of this deleted. I got to answer a ton of questions. All right. My accountant's got some questions about stuff. Let's go ahead and log in over here. All right. What's up? What's up, Mr. LaFlame? How are the markets today? They got to be good. It was true. The tariff announcement between China and the United States, they are going back down to very low tariffs. So that is over, that whole concern. Assuming it lasts. I mean, it's only for 90 days. All right. Large new round of commission slabs. And then slabs galore. Hot breaks. Live card shop. What slabs whose slabs are these? Well, these would be Tammy's. Ms. Tammy sent me a round of slabs. I might mark them ahead of time so that we know who, even if they get moved around, we know whose they are. So we might do that right now. Let's see. Because I don't want to mix them. It looks like Alex might have already pinged. So I'm going to jump over here as well. There it is. Just kind of an ugly picture. No crazy picture today. Just a simple stack of slabs in the image. Busy. I mean, it's 4:58, man. How is it 4:58? I'm supposed to be halfway done with the stream at 4:58. All right, we got a Mr. JC order. He says, could I get the prismatic ETB EV PSA 10? Oh, yes, you can. But boy, we got a lot of slabs right now for sale and more coming. And Anthony Kalura sending me a couple more too. There's just a ton, dude. I hope you have good stock gains. Yeah, you too, man. Let's see. I hope you did really good in the Bitcoins. And how did stocks do? So it says here, in one day, I'm up 1.5% in stocks. And it said, oops. And it's, I almost sold. I'm hitting buttons here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So wait, it's 3%. I'm up 3%. Wow. Crazy. I was reading it wrong. What the? Whoa, Coinbase jumped. Coinbase jumped 9%. They must have reported some good. Nintendo just jumped. Nintendo jumped because they were probably part of that whole, stuff imported from China deal. So probably if they're not affected by that anymore, that's great for them because they're releasing a console right now. The new Nintendo Switch console needs to be released. All right, so let's take a quick brief look at this. What do we have here? These are Anthony's. These are all Anthony's. And so I'm going to write Anthony's name on them. We don't want to confuse anything here. What is this music I turned on? Okay, so these are Anthony's cards that still need to be sold. We've got 2 Caleb Ibarra cards that are not sold. He told me not to sell this one. That makes sense. This one is a nice card, so we're not selling it, from Jennifer Yap. And then the manga card, he was just asking about that. I was planning on maybe buying this from him and hosting it as a break. Would you guys like a manga break? You think anyone would jump in that? It's kind of an experiment. Thing is, the way my rules work, if I put this into a break, I immediately have to pay for it. Because so if something goes into a break, you get paid out immediately. So I would hate to start a break and find out it doesn't do well. That's the only side that I'm not sure about. Let me tell that to Mr. Caleb because he was asking about this. All right. Boom. Kid, I don't really like. Used as Captain Kid. Maybe he's not so popular. I love Kid, says Mr. Ahmed. Well, even if you don't like him, he might be worth trying to acquire for $40. So I'm going to set that over here to my side. And I'm just we are. Going to zoom in here. Just a little nervous on that one. So we got this big Tammy order here. And I think what we could do is move these Anthony Galore cards to the side now. Okay. And this will be fine then, because we've got this empty box. And all of Tammy's cards will go into this box. And only Tammy's cards are allowed in this box. All right. She sent over a couple. I think she even sent over 1 or 2 that I might be interested in. Great. Now is a great time to buy anything from Mr. He's Nice. What? I'm nice? Here's Jasmine's Gaze. She has gaze. Okay. Any tops? I can't remember if there were any tops. I don't think there was. I think there was like a Dratini tops. This. Oh, this is empty. Okay. Empty sticker. Do I have more stickers? Should have brought a whole stack of them in here, didn't I? Are these the good stickers? I think these are the good ones, yeah. Okay, so Tammy, I'm tempted to stop using stickers, except for really expensive cards. There is a Dratini. Okay, I'm dying over here. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to our Daytime Monday stream. The Daytime Monday stream does tend to be a little busy. I think it's because it's the Monday blues, you know. People go, you know, I'm going to open up a Pokemon card or two to relax on this Monday. And then Tuesday, I think people are just strictly out of money. All right. Oh, what did I actually see here? I got a message at the same time. Hold on. I was reading that message. Let's see. Okay, so this guy who bought 18 boxes, he likes female cards. That's interesting to note. Okay. There's a guy who bought 18 bulk boxes. That's the most I've ever sold in one go. We're going to put you down as Tam. All right, Tam. Tam who likes ham. Okay. JC wants the Prismatic ETB Eevee. Yeah, that's a good one. Cheap, if anything. I thought it was kind of cheap. Here it is. Yeah, I thought this was underpriced. Working up for closing on this house. Stressful stuff. Yeah. Yeah, buying a house is a lot of steps. Getting the loan. Getting the earnest check. And we got Anthony card right here. This is a nice card. Jolteon Pokeball. Getting the earnest check. Here's a Caleb card. This is a 9.5 Dark Crobat. This. I could resubmit that to like PSA or something like that for you if you wanted, Caleb. Here's a nice Dratini No Rarity symbol. We're looking for a round to take down now. We got to take some cards down. I do feel like this round could come down because it's rotated a couple times. Let's see. Just submitted my first card submission over to Tag Grading, Basketball, Animal Crossing, Minecraft, Pokemon. When I get the Slabs back, would you be interested in trading, buying, selling? Maybe. So here we go. Let's see. I'm not against it. Speaking of which, I made a video today talking about me cracking some Ancient Mew slabs that graded like PSA 6. And 1 or 2 guys were kind of mad about that. I don't get it because everyone knows the PSA grades and the middle grades are horribly harsh. And so if you get a bad PSA 6, you resubmit it to CGC for like a 7 or an 8. If you're lucky, a 9. Something like that, right? And so that's pretty standard. I was surprised there was so much pushback against that idea. It's like different grading company has different grading standards. That's just kind of how it works. It would be insane if it graded 10. Now, that would be crazy if it came back 10, which I don't think it would. But I would be surprised if it came back 6 because PSA has like this rule where if a card is like a dent or something, it goes straight to 6. Whereas with CGC, that same damage on the card would be more like a 7 or an 8 or a 9. And so that's why you do the resubmission, because it's the logical thing to do. You wouldn't want to miss out on that. You miss out on the value of your card if you don't crack it and submit it. You're going to miss out on the value. All right, so all slabs may. I'll take a picture of this now. Yeah, there was like a guy on Instagram. He's like, I'm surprised you would show your 8,000 followers on Instagram that you're cracking and resubmitting cards. It's like, yep, I've been doing that for like 6 years, dude. Doing that for a long time. What do you mean? Yeah. All right, these are coming down. These are some commission slabs right here. If you guys want them, I'm going to put them in the box that only holds commission slabs, and this one's going to go down into my regular box. Okay, oops. That's pretty standard, you know. Resubmitting cards is pretty standard. I had to mention another thing to another guy. When it comes to card grading is not a science. It's not scientific. It's not based on the laws of gravity. It's not based off of thermodynamics. It's just somebody looking at your card and handing out an opinion, and that's it. And then what they really do is they hire these guys to do that job that are just off the street. They're just normal people like me and you. They give them some training. Then they give them probably like $20 an hour, $25 an hour, who knows. And that's it. That's who grades your card. That's who decides if your card's a 9 or a 10. Just some guy they hired. It's not like a doctor. They didn't go to college to get a degree in card grading. That's not how it works. So, you know, if you get a stinky grade on your card, you absolutely have the right to crack that card and resubmit it with their competitor who might have different standards, or even back to them if they're so bad that they can sometimes turn 9s into 10s. That's on them. That means they suck. That means that their system's not consistent. And so it's your card. You're owed the value of that card. If you've been given a 9 and you crack it and resubmit it and it turns into a 10 with the same company, what that really means is that company kind of scammed you out of the first grade. You overpaid for the grading, basically. So that's what that means. That doesn't mean you're like some kind of greed monster. It's your card. So anyways, I noticed people responding with some negativity there. Always negativity, man. There's always some strong negativity in the hobby. I don't know what does it. Is it greed? So let's see. We're going to go ahead and take a picture of this slab because it's 244. But yeah, I noticed a little pushback on people seeing me crack my own slabs. Like, of course I crack my own slabs. If you're not cracking your own slabs, if you're not cracking like your vintage 9s or something and testing them, if they're a strong card, if you're not doing that, I swear to God you're missing out on some value, because we have seen cards flip over and over again out of being 9s and into being 10s. But we've also seen, you know, PSA 9s turn into 9.5s with other companies. We've seen... I've watched this for years. Remember when the CGC first came out with their 9.5s? We watched a bunch of CGC 9.5s transform into PSA 10s. I've upgraded a bunch of BGS 9.5s into 10s. I've done that for just years. I've taken an SGC 9 that turned into a PSA 10. Yeah, I've been cracking cards for a very long time, and you know, I would be surprised that anyone would find that surprising. That's what you're supposed to do. That's normal. Because grading is just an opinion. Grading's just an opinion. That's all it is. And you go, I'd like a second opinion. Like with the doctor even. Here we are. They say get a second opinion with the doctor. All right. I don't do slabs, but tempted. I have the first TCC 9.5. Kanye is winning something. It's a Nobel Peace Prize. Y'all think Kanye winning a Grammy this year? I think tag grading will take forever. 6 has a 100% gem rate. Mr. is shipping $9 for slabs. Yeah, shipping is a standardized $9 price. What's really going on is if you do a very small shipment, we still use good quality products to ship your cards. Alexis is paid very well to do the shipping. That's what you want. You don't want to have some cheap guy doing your shipping. But also, a little bit, if you're paying maybe $1 over or $2 over, that subsidizes the big packages that really should cost about $30 or $40 to ship, but they only ship for $9. So that's what's going on. We give the guys who are big customers cheap shipping at the cost of maybe shipping one slab for $9. And it kind of incentivizes you to be very efficient with your shipping too, right? Because if shipping's too cheap, you're going to order one slab and then a round of shipping, and then one slab and then a round of shipping, and then one slab and then a round of shipping. So we incentivize you to sort of combine ship. That's kind of how we do it over here, and it's worked very well. All right, and Edward Carranza. I sent an order. It looks like it was never processed. I want 6 sealed packs of Glory of Team Rocket and shipping. You got it, Mr. Edward. Anything you want. It sounds like I could have missed your order. If that's the case, we're going to get it all fixed up for you. No problem. How much is the cheap guy shipping? You know, out here in Lake of the Ozarks, the minimum wage is like $12.50 an hour. Walmart hires people at $14 an hour. And to do the shipping here, it's $25 an hour. So the cost of living out here is pretty low, and $25 an hour is pretty decent. And so we do good money on the shipping, and we want it to be that way. It's a nice thing. Here we are. I'll do it for 8. Nah, dude. Nah. You get paid well if you come over here and do the shipping. All right. So, this is a dangerous job. You can't make any mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice. Our minimum's 15. Nice. Minimum wage is a sad and tough thing, isn't it? Here's Edward. But I made minimum wage when I started. Actually, I made less than minimum. I worked for my dad first. He had a small business, and I earned $3 an hour back then. $3 an hour. All right. And I worked harder for him than I did for Target. Target's easy. Target's easy and comfortable. Working for my dad was difficult and dangerous, and he got splinters, and it was hot outside. It was awful. All right. Target was like air conditioned. It's like way easier. Get paid way more too. All right, so there's that. And he said he wants some shipping. You got it, man. Let's go in and get you shipped. When did we create this bag? On 10/24, we're going to log into PayPal. Make sure you haven't moved anywhere. Minimum wage went up as if September 2024 and 1 every year for the next 4 years by law now. Crazy. Is the star slab break already happening? The star slab break. I do not know what you mean by that question. But we're going to jump over here and we're going to click on activity. Tree Fitty, final offer. Okay. Here it is, Mr. Edward. We're testing Mr. Edward's address. And now we're going to go ahead and start shipping. Oh, it looks like... oh, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. There we go. Mr. Carranza. And now let me just see if this still matches. Yep. Okay, all good. So let me just adjust the weight too. Rocket packs still sell pretty fast. This is supposed to be like 80s synthwave. I'm not really feeling that. Are you guys feeling it? Let me know what you guys want to listen to. By the way, we have a karaoke option now in the extended menu. You can pay like a minimal amount to have us play your favorite music. There are some limitations to that. I remember getting paid $5.25 an hour when I was growing up. Yeah, for me it was $7.25. That was the minimum wage in Missouri when I was younger. $7.25. And times have changed. All right, there we go. Hey, mister, did you ever price the PSA 9 Sylveon or Raging Bolt from Prismatic? I don't think we've priced those yet. Okay, that was Mr. Carranza. All right. Here's Abra. The Abra's been rotating. He's a good card, but he's a Spectra. That's what you need to know. That means he's got a rainbow tint to him, and that it makes it a rare hit card out of the Topps Chrome set. Here's a cheap Mudkip 9. Here's a Down into the Depths. Now look at this Jasmine. You wouldn't crack and regrade Jasmine because Jasmine's probably just going to get another 9. And it doesn't have enough value to test for the regrade anyways because of the cost of grading. But those Ancient Muse that I was cracking, those do have a lot of value, and they could be worth the testing, regrading. Hey, mister, how's it going today? What's up, Luke Laurie? How's it going, man? Mr. Luke. Torin McClure. Hello, this is Torin. It's been a while. Life's going on. I should have a bag from the end of last year. Okay. Here's a little extra for being awesome. Oh, this guy's too nice. All right, let's get him shipped. Mr. Torin McClure. I'm James McClure. Here it is. Yeah, I remember you. Very nice. He gave a little extra. Let's give him a little extra. How about a free Karuta card? We'll just say free. That way he doesn't wonder if I gave him someone else's cards. I've done that before where I handed out some free cards and somebody's like, oh no, you shipped me someone else's cards. Okay, let's see if we've shipped you before. He didn't mention an address change. Torin McClure, there it is. Okay, 2 rounds of shipping there, guys. Not too heavy, so we're going to reduce the weight actually on this one. Eustace Captain Kidd. Y'all just keep going back and forth. Falling in reverse. Hey, mister, did you ever price the PSA 9 Sylveon? All right, I already read that. Omastar, star card, clearance card. Oh, the clearance card. Yes, here it is, the clearance break. Where'd he go? There he is. So he's up to 3. Usually the clearance card sells a little slower. There's 3 spots left, and certain cards hand out star spots. There you go, Mr. Torin. All right, very nice. He's ready to go out. I'm Troy McClure. We have an order from Zach, who's going deep on the EB2 as usual. Here it is, Mr. Zach. Deep. Let's get one of these priced up before we go on. So over here we have a PSA 9 Starmie. That's from the blue deck. Well, actually, I think I could just reuse the sleeve. Try to reuse the sleeves where I can, even though they probably sell better when the sleeve looks nice and crisp. It's all about using less plastic, putting less plastic in the ocean. Try to get the most out of this before it's gone. So that's a lovely blue deck Starmie 9. I don't have a price for it, though. Let me check sold, maybe. I don't have a price for it at all. I will start it out, I guess, at, well, see, if it was my card, I'd probably do about $20. But we'll start it out at, let's say, $24. Oops, I'm just going to write TAM. All right, that's 24 TAM. Now, Mr. Zach. When you guys buy these Tammy ones, Tammy gets a little store credit. That's how it works. No manga out of 8 cases is crazy. We pulled one earlier. That was, maybe that's part of the reason why, is we had already pulled one. But 8 cases, we should pull another one. He goes, you ready? I trust the guy I bought it from. He is a distributor, and we have pulled one from this case, and we've pulled all of our mangas, almost all of them, from the same guy. So, just bad luck, maybe. Maybe that's just how it goes. Who knows how many cases are supposed to go by before another manga shows up. But we're pretty deep, so maybe soon. 525 in New York in the late 80s. Nice. New York. That must be so fun to live there. I live out in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. It's we're ready for the upgrade. We are ready to upgrade from Missouri. You know, I was born in San Diego. That's where I was born. My family lived there for a little while. But my relatives all lived out in Missouri, Kansas City. And so that is where my parents went back to after they had me. No, they went to Illinois briefly. They lived in Illinois briefly. That's where they had my brother. And then they returned to Kansas City, Missouri. And then we got a home in St. Louis, Missouri. That's my history. St. Louis is like, I don't know, not too much going on out here. Very cheap cost of living. You can live out here very cheap. Houses in Missouri did not go up the way California houses did. So really all my parents had to do was stay in California and just get any job and just survive. And they would have been wealthy. They didn't do that. They came to Missouri. Ooh, here he is again. Pinocchio nose guy. Ta-da! That was a financial mistake in my opinion. Oops. All right, but life's all right. Everything's good. Somehow I've got a cool job in Missouri. That's the neat thing about being a YouTuber. You can be a YouTuber in any state, any place in the world. So things are going all right. My wife, her family was from New Jersey and Texas, and they moved here to Missouri too. I don't get it. It is Missouri. We've got the Chiefs, but that was more of a recent thing. Back in the 80s, late 80s and the 90s, that we did not have. The Chiefs were not doing anything too crazy back then. We had the Rams were kind of doing well for a little while. And then the Rams, I think, left to California. New York sure is expensive, but you pay for convenience. Sure, sure, sure. Well, also there's a lot of opportunity, right? And there's a lot of good education, and there's a lot of culture. So, you know, I think it would have been cool to have grown up anywhere else than Missouri, but it's kind of a grass is always greener kind of question, isn't it? Like, I can't complain. My life turned out quite well. Here it is. Zachary Sticks. It's like Bitcoin. You could live in Missouri, and you could have been buying Bitcoin like crazy 10 years ago, just doing a regular job in Missouri. And then today, you'd be doing very well. There we are. Ooh. Okay, Zach, let's grab your bag. Let's start your new bag, Zach. You got a lot. No leader, bow, or Luffy that I recall either. There we are. We've pulled a lot of leader cards. There we go. All right. this is going to say, I'm rooting for you guys to pull your best cards out of here, okay? We like to see that. We get good clips from that. And I like to think you guys get your money back on whatever you open. Okay, another Tammy card popping up. Here we have a Drowsy Bulbasaur deck. You're going to need a new sleeve. What's up, Andy Dirksen? How's it going, man? What can I say about Missouri? How many of you guys have ever visited? Yes. Ta-da! Missouri has St. Charles area's got the Old Town St. Charles Main Street. That's a really nice place. It's this area, this chunk. It's like a historic downtown. They got these really old buildings that are like 400 years old. That's one of the best places to visit in Missouri, in my opinion. I love that place. Really nice. But I imagine there are other places that have something similar to that. And St. Louis is okay, I guess. It's Del Mar Loop's fun. The Muni's fun. Yeah, Forest, Del Mar Loop, the Muni, the St. Louis Zoo, which is free. You can just go in. You don't have to pay any tickets. It is. Some cool stuff out here, I guess. But really, the selling point is just the price. You know, this is a place where you can have many of the common amenities that any major city has and not have to pay the enormous amount of cost to live here. There's no premium to live here. Okay, this card's going to be about $20 as well. Hello, Michael. How are you? I never hear your thoughts on abortion. Is it too controversial for the stream? Abortion, it's not super controversial for me. Here we are. All right. I think that Republicans have made a big mistake fighting the subject. I think that it's a losing subject for the Republicans. You know, women are never going to fight to... Most women will not fight to get rid of that option to be able to have abortion because they prefer it. It is. And since women vote, it's always a bad and weak subject for men to fight over. Here we are. All right. Tammy. I think that there's a more... my philosophical beliefs really rest on sort of like biological beliefs about the world. You know, people that don't want to have children just won't have children, and then the problem just solves itself. If you do want to have children, those people will generally have children. And so the problem just kind of solves itself, you know. So from a sort of like natural selection perspective, abortion is just this aspect of reality of the world, you know, and people who really, really don't want to have kids just won't have kids, and that's it. So it's just sort of like this thing you don't have to go to war over. Here's Brandon Boutillier, $40 for my Nidoking and $40 for Umbreon. For your Nidoking and Umbreon. You got it, man. I'm a little confused. Do you have two Sabaways? Brandon. Oh, you do have two Sabaways. All right, let's get it. So 1675 minus 40 would be 1635. And then 415 minus 40. 375. Okay. Boom. Sounds like a losing subject. Yeah, it's a. I think Republicans. Yeah, it's a difficult subject. You guys know that it's a difficult subject. It should be between the doctor and the mom, maybe the father if he's in the picture. Do you think Rocket Returns Moltres EX is worth grading, even if it's like a 5 or 6? Yeah, I would probably grade because it's an old vintage card. I'd probably grade it, old vintage card, because even if it's not a 10, people still value it. Here's Raul Batista. I should have a $40 credit because I sent for the Rayquaza break, but did send it in time to be in it. Can I get 3 Paldea Evolved and shipping? Sure, let's take a quick look at that, Mr. Raul Batista. Mr. Batista. Here we are. All right. Ooh, look at this. And then let's see, 3 Paldea Evolved. Let's see. I think of it like this. Imagine there's 2 groups of animals. How about this? It's like you got blue lines over here and red lines over here. And the red lines are forcing the blue lines to have babies. It's like, it doesn't really make sense, does it? In nature, it's not really your job to make sure everyone around you is having children. It's just kind of your job to do your own thing, right? Could you imagine you got all these birds and they're all competing over limited resources. And you're really angry because the birds over there are not having babies, or they're killing their own babies or something like that. You're really mad about that, and you're going to stop them from doing that. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really play that way out in nature. In nature, it doesn't. If your competitor is getting rid of their own children, it's not really your job to get in the way of that. So from strictly a biological perspective, I have trouble understanding why Republicans would want to lose elections in order to force Democrats to have children. That's what it all kind of accumulates into. The thinking, it doesn't make so much sense. I think that's even in the art of war. If your enemy is making a mistake, do not stop him. That's in the art of war. Here it is. And I think someday the subject of having children will swing back the other way, and people will want to have children. Yes, but it certainly doesn't help that it's so expensive to have children. Not when you have a decline in birth rates. Here it is. Ooh, you have Sharkadet, Pikachu. Yeah, so that's a different subject. The decline in birth rates is, I think, a bit separate from abortion. And I think there has been a big push for people, young people, especially millennials, to go to school and to be rich and to be rich and to be rich and to go to school and be rich. Now we've all gone to school and we didn't, have 12 kids. We went to school and we got rich and we don't have as many children. And now we're looking at the world going, time to have a kid or two, I think that's where we're all at. And it's just, that's where it's at. But I think a big part in America, a big part of it is the fear over healthcare. There's a lot of fear over healthcare in this country because it's so unaffordable. And also the fear of being able to live in a decent place to live and have children at the same time is very difficult because of the cost of living being so unaffordable. Here it is, Mr. Raul with an RA. All right, let's see. But besides that, I think there's also been a little bit of a breakdown in like the role of the husband and the role of the wife. I think there's some, I think some of it might just be like Peter Pan syndrome. Some of it might be like bad relationship skills. Some of it might be too much greed. It could be like a whole combination of things. Here it is. Or maybe it's like all these problems already existed, but abortion and birth control never existed. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of different things. It'll sort itself out. That's the way I see it. Natural selection will do its thing. So there's no reason to go fight over it. You don't need to fight over it. It'll sort itself out in the end. All right, let's see. In fact, it's a really difficult subject to speak about, by the way. People get very, very emotional about this. Not me. Not me. So you don't have to worry about me feeling emotional about it. I'm not that emotional. And that's generally true when it comes to any subject. I like to analyze it like it's a game. So I like to think about things like it's a game and how do I win the game. So, and that's generally how I talk about all things. So it's like, if we talk about any subject, I always think of it like a game and what do you got to do next in the game? We are? All right. So we're going to go ahead and pop this over here. And we're going to go ahead and grab this email. Okay. Very nice. And parent. You think YouTube might give you less traffic because of discussions like this? It's certainly possible. I don't really know for sure, but it's certainly possible. But, people like to talk. I don't mind. We hang out. We talk. Just, I know for a fact, it's very hard to keep people respectful with each other. So you guys have to be respectful to each other. And that's very difficult. People get very emotional and they just want to fight and they want to say bad things to each other. And so that's the hard part. All right. Okay, very nice. Sometimes people just want to come in here and have a good time too. They're not looking to have some sort of, stress-inducing conversation. They just want to have a good time. So I respect that too. Just come in here and open some cards. Well, this is a card shop. So, do you ever sell Dragon Ball Z cards? Yeah, we just sold several cases of Dragon Ball Blazing Aura at a very cheap price. We have a little bit of Dragon Ball left. It's on the extended menu. Let's see the extended menu. I'm going to scroll down. So we've got Dragon Ball Z, Beyond Generations, $5 a pack, and History of Z, $12 a pack. So we got that for Dragon Ball. We might get more Dragon Ball soon. You can't control a woman's body. Don't say it that way. It's different things. Don't say for other people. It can mark it. Depends on what topic it is. Not when you have a decline in birth rates. That's 3-spot flare on Battle Still Here. All right, so now we've got Mr. Raphael. Hey, sorry for any confusion. I was referring to A first edition fossil break from years ago. You always said that you might grade packs at some point, so I left it with you. I suspect that's over here, but I actually do not know where that would be. So I suspect your pack that you're referring to is over here. Do you remember the artwork? I just recently sent out a submission. Give me a second. I might have actually submitted it to PSA for you. So if you left it over here, were you one of the ones that requested that it get graded? Hold on. I don't remember, but some people paid to grade their fossil booster packs. Were you one of those? Hold on. I'm logging into PSA to check our PSA grading submission. I want to see what's in the submission. Yeah, that was a really, really long time ago. Let's see. We're going to go to submissions. Orders. Okay, it must be under orders. Can I join the Call of Legends break and put the rest of my credit to my sub away? Here it is. It looks like you have... Oh, wait, that's not it. Haha, there it is. Yes, we can certainly do that. Okay, give me a moment here. Okay, so they had a special in December for pack grading, and I sent some stuff out to grade with that one. Let's see what I actually sent out. Oh, it doesn't show the items. All right, so they're still in the early portions of the grading. Maybe I click on this. Can this show it? Oh, here we go. All right. So looks like there was a fossil pack that went out. It was a Lapras, first edition Lapras. That might be it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. Yeah, get in contact with me on that. Maybe you can send an email or something, okay? Yeah, you can help me figure it out, because maybe I'll be able to find it. Also, the father should always be included in an abortion conversation if he's in the picture, maybe. The first 5 minutes of a stream are the most crucial for cursing certain topics or copyrighted music. It will be flagged in the first 5 minutes. Wouldn't have had his name on it. Maybe the woman's body, but it's his child too. Yeah, but it's a bit complicated. There was a submission box that was very, very old, and I ran into that, and the names were not on them, because I think we were about to submit that, and it did not get submitted in the end. I don't know why it didn't get submitted. Oh, because PSA had changed their pricing on everything. That's what happened. So all of a sudden, PSA had their gigantic, kind of crazy bottleneck. Do you guys remember the bottleneck where grading went up to like $100 per card or $125? And as a result of the bottleneck, that got put aside, and I virtually forgot about it. That's why I say if the father's... Okay, you guys are still talking. So let me go ahead and take care of Mr. Anthony Kalura here. He's jumping into this, the Call of Legends break. Ah, here it is. Okay, $73 on that. Here it is. Gregorio Panetta is in here. 2 people in. 2 out of 10. All right. Yeah, so, I mean, going back to the whole, abortion debate, it's really typically kind of Republicans versus Democrats. That's typically how it is. And my perspective on it is that it's not Republicans' jobs to make sure Democrats are having babies. It doesn't make sense. And so if you're losing your political fights over that subject, it only makes sense from a religious perspective. And so it's a religious perspective for the people who are fighting for it. It's a religious thing. Okay. When you hear Donald Trump talk about abortion, he really sounds like he doesn't want to talk about it often. So the rest of this will be applied to your slab. $69. All right, let's see. $69, $592. They could clue on their own if they want to have children. That's it. That's all there is to it. And they probably will. I think everyone will, because children are a blessing. That's the way I see it. I came from a big family of 11 children, and I think children are a blessing. I don't think they're a bad thing. I just think there's a lot of people who don't feel ready, or it's not really their main goal, or maybe they're scared, maybe they're not financially ready. Who knows? But there's many reasons. But I think over time people crave children more as they age. I know when I was young, when I was 18, when I was in college, I didn't want kids. I was not ready for kids. So, I don't blame anyone for that. Here's Carlton Wicks, $10 to slab away a gold $10 to Slab Away. I read that wrong. All right, Carlton Wicks, $10. Here you go. Again, I think a lot of it comes down also to the way our culture has changed over the years. We kind of want to live life a bit more before we have children. You know, we want to have more experiences. We want to have more financial success. We want to get our college done, get a good career. So life has changed a bit. And, you know, it's just, that's all part of it. I think as long as you end up having a kid or two at the end, you'll be all right. So, but you got to get on that. Here it is. I think it's a little tougher for the girls than the boys, too, because the boys can keep going for a while like that. Mick Jagger had a kid at like 80, dude. But the girls got to make a decision sooner. All right, that's a cold one. Very nice. All right, let's see. Dylan Chan. 8 packs of Magic Girls from the open box. You got it, Mr. Dylan Chan. Mr. Dylan. Where's the open box? I think it's over here on this side. How about you guys? I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on the subject. Some people are very religious, and so they have very strong feelings about it because they believe that, you know, babies are like straight from God, and they have like this thing called a soul, and as a result, you know, you're killing like a soul. If you kill a baby in the womb, you're killing a soul, or something like that. You know what I mean? So religious people usually take a very hard stance on this with the zero tolerance. Here we are. I know that because I was raised Catholic, and I knew all the Catholics, and I went to the pro-life march when I was young. I went to it 3 times. It was a very cool experience. I got to go to Washington, D.C. 3 times. One of the times I went there, it was an extended stay. I stayed in Washington, D.C. for a whole week, and wow, what a cool time that was. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you've never visited Washington, D.C., you got to go. It's our nation's capital. Ready? So, Dylan, ginger babies have no souls. What? They are. Snipping this. All right. Okay. Tossing this away, Mr. Dylan Chan. Konnichiwa. All right. Here's a hollow. Very nice. And here's Tentacle Girl, Tentacle Image. Konnichiwa! Oh no, not these tentacles. What will we do as hot magical girls? Signatures, please. Yes, sir. Okay, here's this one. This pup. Here's a hollow. Here's this full art. All right. Yeah, I think people would be having more babies if their parents help them out more. That's another one for Karis and me. I don't have parents, basically. I'm like an orphan. So I had really bad parents, and I ran away when I was young. And I feel like that really impacts your desire to have children. You need like a strong family to desire having children. I think I'm not alone. I think a lot of people struggle with their family. So, you know, if you have really good parents, that makes it easier too. But Karis's parents, they're kind of in the same boat. They need help. Karis's parents often need help, and so they don't help us. They receive help, or you know, you just know that you're going to end up needing to help them one way or the other. And so that adds a sort of financial stress to your brain that makes you more cautious, maybe, you know, like you want to wait longer. You're like, well, let's just wait a minute. We are. So it's just kind of tough that way. But some people have parents where, yeah, my dad's a lawyer, my mom's a nurse, they got a couple million between them. You know what I'm saying? So some people have that setup going on, and for them, having children is just like, all right, it's time to have children. Mr. Dylan, you're very privileged if you have that. If you have good parents, you are in fact very privileged. Good parents with good jobs, that is very lucky. You're winning. You are? You're not alone, mister. I thought your parents were awful too. Thanks, man. Getting that gluck. Hey, mister, do I get my name in the promo pack for buying the rest of that box? I'll put you in. Let's put you in. Why not? Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. I survived my childhood. It was tough. And, you know, spend the rest of your life figuring yourself out and becoming a normal person. Okay, let's get a Tammy Slab up here. Miss Tammy Slab. So here we have a Lightning from Opus One. Ooh, very lovely. This is a Cardconomist graded card. The only problem is I don't know what to price this at. I wish I was privileged. Yeah, exactly. Some of us had tough childhoods, and, you know, if you had a tough childhood, you got to learn a lot about how that affected you and, you know, how to avoid pitfalls, treating people bad, stuff like that, and treating yourself bad or something like that, or, you know, becoming dependent on drug usage. Some people turn to drugs. Some people, maybe they become a Grinch. Maybe I'm a Grinch. I don't know. Opus One. What do you think? You think bad parents turn you into a Grinch? Let's see. Or a Scrooge or something like that. Who knows? Let's see. So there is one for sale, and it's for a whopping $90. You guys got to open Opus One. It's on the menu. Opus One is on the menu. That is an Opus One foil Lightning, and they went $90 for it. We have that set on the menu. It's like really cheap too. It's the first Lightning set that was ever released for the Opus series. Look at this. This sold in April for $120. That's the same card. That's pretty good. Yeah, you guys got to open some of that old Opus One Piece. Not One Piece. Opus One Final Fantasy. So if there's one on the market for $90, we're going to make Tammy's a little bit cheaper. We're going to go with the $80 maybe. How about that? I know you guys are the right audience to sell this slab to. It's because some of you guys might value the TCC slab logo for fun. I'm very close with my parents and family. You're very lucky for that. That's a good thing. All right. So we took care of Dylan. I think I've said that before. Anyone who's got a great family relationship, that's a special thing. Here's Luke Laurie, $10 for Slab Away Omastar Break. Oh, I see what you're saying. $10 for Slab Away, and I'd like to go into the Omastar Break. You got it. Luke Laurie. Is it with an A? Yes. Okay. It does bitter you a bit. Yeah, you know, it makes you a little crusty inside. I think having to deal with maybe a parent who they're insecure or they're immature or they're selfish or they're greedy, you know, teaches you as a young kid that you got to protect yourself almost, you know, so it gets pretty tough. And, you know, I'm lucky. I went to college. I got college educated. I read books on psychology and stuff like that. All that helped. And I have some self-awareness a little bit, at least. So all that helps. But, you know, there's people out there who need help. You know, they had bad parents and they need help. Somebody needs to actually jump in their pathway and intercede for them in order to kind of save themselves from themselves. And I almost see some of my siblings like that. Like they didn't have the same maybe a situational awareness that I did for some of this stuff. So my life turned out kind of normal-ish. I say normal-ish because it's not perfect, but, you know, I think some of my siblings are struggling. Here's Omastar, and I look out in the world and I see other people struggling too, and it's like, I always think the same thing. They don't have friends that they need. They don't have family taking care of them. They don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend taking care of them. You know, their job's not taking care of them, obviously. So they're just these people that are definitely not, you know, they're in a very tough situation. That's how you end up with people slashing tires. Remember, if you were in the Sunday nighttime stream, I was talking about how we went out to eat at Denny's, and some random guy just started slashing people's tires in the parking lot, and the police had to come and get him and everything. So, yeah, somebody with a messed up life. Here's Ivan Rodriguez, the Drowsy. Oh, the Drowsy sold. Look at that. Yo, Ivan Rodriguez. All right, Tammy, and now we begin a card for you. It doesn't help when people think drug addiction is funny. Well, I never thought of it that way. I always thought of it as sort of this unfair thing, you know. I hear people especially get into problems like drugs when they're lonely. Isn't that sad? That's really sad. People get into drugs when they're especially lonely. So when you really think about that, I mean, it's like a tragedy. But drugs are, I've always said this in this stream, the problem with drugs, the whole idea of them is that they circumvent your willpower, right? So I don't ever blame people. If you got a drug situation, you got a drug problem, I don't blame people. People should receive help for that. That's what I think should happen. So I don't blame people. You know, you got to ask them to be adults. You got to ask them to fight it. But, you know, people who, they do too many drugs, they smoke too much, they drink too much, they eat too much, whatever it is, I don't think just beating them up ever really solves it. And they might have something in life that's just holding them back, or maybe like a tragic history. You know, I don't assume anything about anyone. Here we go. Okay, Drowsy. Okay, let's see. Miss Tammy picking up 14.5. Drug addiction is awful. My brother's 4 years clean now. He's living his best life. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, you hear stories like that too, and you know, that's the goal, isn't it? Why did I write Ivan Rodriguez down? I wrote the wrong name. It's because his name's on the screen. All right, Tammy. Here we go. I was going to say 14.5 for Tammy. All right. Of course he writes the wrong name when he's just... I just got that muscle memory, you know. My brain looks at the screen, it sees Ivan, and it writes Ivan. I caught it without any help, though. I'll point that out. I caught it. Okay, next up, we got Mr. Sergio. Shipping for Sergio. You got it, man. How's it going, Mr. Sergio L12? Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Sergio L12. Here's a bag for Sergio L12. Let me check in another box to make sure there's nothing in there. Never give up on someone who's drug addicted. There's hope. Yeah, and your brother sort of has that, you know, listen to you. You know, he's got a sister who's saying that kind of stuff. Some people don't have that. That's what you got to think about. Some people have no sister, they have no brother, or worse, they do, and those people hate them. Imagine having a family member and they don't even like you. They're like, nah, screw you, I hope you lose. You know, or friends or family that treat you that way or talk about you that way. And so some people carry a burden that other people don't carry. And, you know, it's unfortunate. It explains a lot of the world really quickly. Explains a lot of the world. Toss this over here. Caleb. Let's see. It's always mental health or something like that, you know. All right, there's your bag. And now let's get you shipped. Let's grab this. I'm going to log into PayPal, make sure we get exactly the right Sergio. Oops, logged me out. There are people who can't be helped and only bring down those around them. Yeah, and that's the conservative side of it, you know. So the Democrat side, the liberal side will say there are people who need help, we need to go help them. And then there's the conservative Republican side saying that person, they're just mean because they're mean. That's it. That's all there is to them. They're jerks and they want to hurt you. And your best move is to remove yourself from their vicinity. That's why we got jail. We got punishments, you know, like capital punishment. Like somebody who does a history of crime just over and over again. And then finally he kills somebody. And it's like, man, why did we keep letting this guy back out so that he would eventually kill somebody? We should have known that he couldn't be helped because he didn't want help and just kept him locked up on the last time. So yeah, there's both sides to that story. So yeah, you definitely have to have enough common sense to see that. You have to have enough common sense to be able to determine what situation you have on your hands. All right, very good. You got to pick up temporal forces so I can pull a cutie fly for the Discord roll. Oh yeah? Temporal forces? You're right, I don't think I have that one. I don't think I have a box of that. Like Anakin Skywalker, says Mike side. Yeah, like Anakin Skywalker. We are. But here's an example of somebody who wasn't Anakin Skywalker. There was that guy who was let out of jail too fast. This might have been in New York or something, I don't remember. And then he bought a car and he ran it through a crowd of people at a Christmas parade. Horrible. That guy should have just stayed in jail longer. That's it. So how do you know the difference between those two things? And the answer to that question is it's very similar to taxation. It's hard to say. Some people think there should be less taxes. Some people think there should be more taxes. Crime and punishment is similar. Some people think, well, people just need more help. Other people think, no, it's not the help. They just need to be locked away longer. And it's tough to decide what should be the right direction. It's really tough. It should be data-driven, really. You should use data and science to make good choices. But many people just react with how they feel about it in their heart. Here's Nathan Gordon, 10 rockets. You got it, Nathan. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Very nice. Ooh. But even data is difficult because data can be cherry picked, or it cannot explain the whole story, the whole picture. It's difficult. That's what leadership's all about, by the way. Leadership is somebody who makes the choices, and all of their choices are predictions. They're making predictions about the way the world is and what we should do next. So that's why, that's why people vote on who the leader should be. They go, this guy will make smart choices. All right, you ready? Nathan Gordon. Cold. And a cold. Oops. And, orbital. Hoo-hoo. Very good. And a cold one. Mr. Nathan, pull in Team Rocket Grunt. I don't know who this is. What's the name of that card? Is it just Team Rocket Grunt? Cold. Imagine being the judge that allowed the guy out early. Well, yeah, precisely. That guy, the judge, I don't know if it was the judge. Was it the judge or the attorney general? Whoever it was that let that guy early, they obviously made the wrong choice, and it got a whole bunch of people killed. And always in the comment sections of these tragic events, you see people talking about how the judge should be charged too. And that's a tough thing to do because, the judge needs to be able to do his job and not fear that kind of repercussion. So you have to assume the judge is working in good faith, right? And that he simply made a bad choice, and sometimes you make a bad choice. But the real criminal is the person who drove the car, not the judge. So it's tough, it's really tough. All right, look at that. Team Rocket's Proton looks like great value N in a Rocket uniform. What? All right. Whew. So that's Mr. Nathan Gordon with an N. Let's go grab your bag. Let's see. Every country's history of presidents and kings are full of leaders, of people who made good choices and bad choices. And we get to look back on that and say, oh, this guy did good, this guy did bad. It's Pee-Pee-Chew. So we got Joker Pee-Pee-Chew, 9.5. How to price it? So here's a Silver Deck 9.5 Pikachu. I suppose what we should probably do, I think we should price it as a 9, because this is Mint Plus is what it is. Okay. How about them tariffs, though? Yeah, so apparently the tariffs between China and America are being dropped. That's great news for everybody. Here we are. I'm going to be ordering some Chinese Pokemon cards as a result. There it is. All right. So, PSA 9 on this Pikachu is $65 with 10 watchers. Not exactly cheap. We're probably going to do about $55. Okay. Tariffs are 30% total for 90 days. Yeah, I better go stock up on some Pokies or something. Man, what is this music? It's so bad, dude. Arcade 80s. It's all the same sort of like drivel, you know? It's all the same sound. We need good music. Somebody name some good music real fast. Sit down and take a look at this. Hold on. How about, let's try Calm Mario Kart music. How about that? All right, there we go. We got a little Mario Kart music playing. Never thought Republicans would do it. Donkey Kong 64, not only, but God Save Your Trump, also slashing farmer prices. Yes, although criticisms of these moves come as Well, he created the tariff problem. Now he's just reversing it. And they said the same thing about the pharmaceutical thing. They said one of his executive orders repealed something that Biden had done to keep the cost down, and now he's just doing it himself. So some people, that is some criticisms from the other side. I'm just repeating what I've heard. I don't actually know every detail. Here's Matthew White, slab away payment on my Brock's ride-on. You've got it, Mr. Matthew. But it's, you know, overall, it's good stuff, though, right? Like, we want this stuff. We want cheaper prices. We want good trade. It's going to be $175. So whatever gets us to that point is good. Okay, cool. So we've actually taken care of all the orders. Let's go ahead and start pricing up more slabs for Tammy. So, Tammy, you got this old Dratini 9, huh? What do you suppose gave it the 9? I suppose it would be this scratch down here. So there's a scratch in the card, and so this is in fact a 9. Dratini 9 Legendary Collection is going to be highly sought after for a break, I suspect. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase it from you right here. Let's go get it. We'll save it because we got a long lineup of breaks to go through. And this one will come down the road eventually. But we can get you paid out early. Okay, PSA 9 Dratini Legendary. There's none for sale. Is there one that has sold recently? So, what's today? It's March 9th? No, it's May 12th. I'm sorry, it's May. And so, let's sort this by ended recently. So, it looks like it most recently sold for $380, and then there's none for sale. So, I'm going to get you that. You ready? All right, so we grab this, and it looks like it's going to be $292 total on your card now. That was pretty easy. Not all. We didn't have this many major companies pledging billions to this country, so we can get back some manufacturing. Here it is. All right. So this card shall be set aside for a future break. I'll go put it in the break box. All right. Trump blows up the markets with ridiculous tariffs and then folds like a paper tiger and goes right back to where we were. Link to website. Hey, it's Colby Cartwright. What's up, man? Yeah, we don't have a website. All you got to do is head right over to the description of the YouTube live stream. So just close the chat box, the live chat, and then open up the description. You'll see PayPal, ZELLE, CASHAPP, VENMO. That's how you pay. We also take crypto too, by the way. And if you scroll down further, you'll see all the things you can buy. You'll also see a little bit of information like the buyer agreement. You'll see how shipping works. When you buy stuff over here, we don't automatically ship it. We only ship when you purchase a round of shipping. And this is a really popular card shop. We've been running for 6 years. We do a crazy number of sales. It's a live rip and ship. What really makes us unique are the breaks. So the breaks make us pretty unique. We've got these breaks where you can take a chance at a slab, and I think it's pretty nice compared to opening booster packs. Mathematically, your odds are better here than if you were to open those booster packs. We've proven that before. It comes down to this. Pulling the chase card out of a booster pack, your odds are much lower than you think. Pokemon doesn't reveal your odds, but your odds are quite poor. And then the hardest part, even after you've pulled the card, it still needs to grade 10 with PSA. PSA hands out 10s very, very poorly. Like, that just doesn't, it's difficult to obtain. And so we're able to do breaks on cards that don't even show up in booster packs. Like these two are promos. This is a Carddass card. This one is from a booster pack, but he's a nice graded 10 ball toy. So we got all kinds of cool stuff. How about this Omastar? We got something called this Mega Break back here. So we got all kinds of cool stuff. We also have these. This is a booster pack break. Everybody gets one card. We shuffle your names up. You all get one card. Somebody gets the rare card. So all kinds of fun stuff in here. We also have slab aways. Slab away is very popular. Slab away is simple. If you see a card that you want, how about this one? And you want to buy it, but it's too dear, it's too expensive. You can put it away in the slab away for 6 months, and there's a $20 fee to do that. So for 6 months, you can pay this down, and you can extend it for another 6 months for another $20. So for $40, you can borrow this from me for a whole year and pay it down. That's much better than using your credit card, and that's why people like it so much. So sometimes they see a card and they go, oh, that's the one I'm going to get. I'm going to pay it down over the next year. And there's some rules to that, though, so be sure you read the rules, like it has to be halfway paid off within the 3-month mark. I don't follow that rule super close. What I really do is I check to see if you made any payments at all. If you completely abandon it by the 3-month mark, I pull it back from you. It's canceled. Also, if you cancel the card or it ends and you don't pay it, you're entitled to a refund, but the refund is calculated in a way where if the card fell in value, you have to pull that value out of your refund first. So you don't want, if you get a card and it goes down in price, you're going to be sad. So be careful about that. So that's Slab Away. It's one of the most popular things we do here on the table. And so we got the breaks, we got the Slab Away. We, of course, bring in fresh product all the time, booster packs to open. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And sometimes we talk controversial subjects, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just talk about what food we like to eat. It's a great place to hang out. We got people who have been hanging out here for almost 6 years, and it's a nice little community. Not too crowded either, I'd say. Sometimes the lines are quite decent. If you got a place you go to and the line is like 2 hours long, you might want to come over here because we don't have a 2-hour long line. That's how it goes. So here is Jeff, who says, shipping, let's leave my hits there in a hits bag. Yes, you talked to me about that. Let's start working on that. This is good timing. Tell us about your personal collection. Can you show us your personal collection? I have one of the most impressive collections in the world at this point, I think. I'm probably on a list, like maybe top 100 collectors. I would hope I would be on that list of top 100. And I just got some cool stuff. This is one of my best cards, Dark Dragonite. But I'm just always, like, here's a Rita Gengar signature. I'm always picking up new cards for myself. A lot of the profit I make from selling Pokemon cards, I just use to buy myself Pokemon cards. That's it. So, like, I bought these two recently, and they just took all my money. And so we are actually saving up now to move. And that'll take a while. We're not planning on moving tomorrow. It's a process, you start. It's a process. But most of the money I earn just goes right back into the hobby. I just buy stuff that I like to collect too. This Tyranitar, that's one I graded. Ooh, this Mew. Look at that. Southern Island Mew 10, pop 20. Here's the nice Lugia that pairs with that Ho-Oh, Gengar, Mudkip, Gold Star. Here's Masaki Gengar. So I'm a big collector. I really like Pokemon cards. I'll collect other hobbies too. Disney, Halo, just whatever catches my eye. I got some coins too. I collect a couple coins. So I got some gold like this. Sometimes if you join this stream midstream, I don't talk this way, I don't talk about all the things, the variety. I'm just enjoying our conversation. Oh, look, it says crack. I got to crack this one. You think this one has that same slab that the Mew had? This immediately makes me think this is a brittle one. So the ancient Mew slab felt super rubbery. It was very twisty, like it would twist easily. It was very rubbery, and it was so hard to break. It was crazy how hard it was to break that slab. We're going to cross this one to CGC and hope for a 9.5, or if we're very lucky, a Gem Mint 10. But we're going to cross this one because PSA doesn't have a 9.5, and they really should. And also, PSA doesn't offer pristine or perfect grades. So, they have a competitor, and if the competitor's offering a better grade on it, I want to test that out. But it costs me money. It's not free to test that out. Here's some beautiful gold coins. I got into gold coins after Trump did those tariffs. I was all about the gold for a little while, and I still am. I got these beautiful gold coins here. Gold's up like 40% over the last year or two. I don't know how long the time period is. Here's a really cheap one, a gold gram for $165. But yeah, gold. I realized gold is one of those things you don't throw away, but the stuff you buy at Walmart is stuff you throw away. And the stock market that appears to be such a good investment, well, the stock market's really just based off of selling people plastic, which again, it's just something you throw away. So I really got into gold this year. Here it is. So we got a little bit of gold, not too much, because I don't think gold's one of those assets that goes up in price very rapidly. So Jeff, I think we've already pulled all the signatures out of these boxes. I don't think we need to search for any signatures here. Does Flareon Gym Break still have only one spot in it? Yeah. Guys, there's a weird gym break here with three spots. So 3 people will go into this gym break. And it'll be like it'll be like the card that we do with the shuffle, but it'll be 3 people. So it'll be really weird. It's just a fun little test. I don't know if we'll continue to do that over time. Maybe just this one time just to see what it's like. Probably just this one time. Here we go. You got a nice signature there. So that's going to stay here. I don't think we pulled out the helm. Plus, there's Pokemon cards. Okay, Pokemon cards. We're setting up Mr. Jeff with some shipping here. There. Can we slab away coins? You can slab away a piece of gold, yes. All right. Just remember, when you do that, you're signing up to pay for that gold at the price it is today. So if the price of gold nosedives, I'm still expecting you to pay that off. And if you cancel it, you'll be charged the difference out of your refund. Ooh, it smells like Karis might be cooking something. You are. She's probably waiting for me to get off the stream. She's done with work at 5, so it's 6 now. NHCC, Jeffy Weffy. There's a hidden box of cards as well. We missed that last time. We did miss that last time. We're going to get that. Yeah, she's cooking something. It's so funny. I'm going to come out there and be like, nah, let's go out to eat. So you want me to keep this over here? I don't know if that's really a hit. Doo-ba-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop. I'll be like, oh. That's right, the Kaiju, that is in the moving sale category because we are selling Kaiju at as low of a price as possible just to get rid of it. Yeah, Kaiju's on sale. It's called Kaiju, right? Okay. That's going to be all of those, Mr. Jeff. Just check over here as well. Jennifer Yap, Caleb. All right. And now let's get that. Did I just get a ping? Hold on. All right. Doobity boop, doobity doobity doo. Get this big old bag. Oh man, you got stuff in here? Let's see what kind of stuff's in here. You got any black and white boxes? I do. I got some old black and white boxes, but they're not really for sale. Oh, there's a Mewtwo. He's kind of cool. Yeah, the old black and white boxes aren't for sale. People are hyped over black and white because Pokemon just posted a black and white box that's coming out soon. You think they're going to announce black and white remake any day now? What do you think's up with that? Here's a little Lugia. Here's a little Umbreon. Oh, that's nice. All right. What brand of cards do you think are up and coming? Up and coming? Well, of course, My Little Ponies. You got to invest in My Little Ponies right away. No, but I mean, if you want my opinion on cards, the market's on fire, and I don't really know where it goes from here. Here it is. It's a good thing to buy in when the cards are rising. It's a good thing to buy in when the cards reach a bottom. It's not good to buy in at the peak, and it's not good to buy in when they're still falling. So it's really hard to say. You can't really time Pokemon cards too much. I'd say go with your gut. Just buy what you like. Buy what you think looks good. If you think it looks good, someone else probably thinks it looks good too. Yeah. Trying to predict the market super strongly never really works. And if you find something that is turning into a big flip for you, you know, just dig deeper into that. Just dig into the things that are flipping for you. I like to do weird stuff. You know, I like to get into weird stuff. Like with the next CGC submission, I'm going to submit a couple Karuta cards, and I'm going to have some Karuta cards for sale, and not a lot of other people have Karuta cards for sale. So it's kind of a unique item. They're still Pokemon cards. They're still vintage. And somebody might buy it, especially if they think the price is right. And if it gets a good grade, you know, when a card gets a good grade, that adds a lot of value to it. It goes up in value because you've added value by grading it. You took a risk when you graded it, you know. Here's a little, you're not going to grade the mask guy, are you? That's a Master Ball tube. I don't think you're going to grade that either. Here's a Golden Ogre Pond mask. I don't think you're going to grade that either. Ooh, but these Eevees, sure. You're going to grade the Eevees. Eevees are great. Cerulege. I don't know if you'll grade Cerulege. I bet he doesn't go for much. Some of the cards, they're too cheap to be grading right now, but if you hold on to them for like 5 more years, all of a sudden you'll look back at them and they'll be like, oh, okay, that one's decent. That one makes money now because they'll all move up in price. But it takes time, you know, it takes a couple of years. All right, and oh, okay, one more top loader, Mr. Jeff. Let's see what's in it. Ah, here we are. Okay, we're set. Good. Well, Jeff, thanks for buying all this stuff. You're a big customer. I really appreciate your business, man. And we'll get this transferred into this baggie, and this will be turned into a top loader. Okay. We'll just call this hits real fast. And so the rest of your stuff we're ready to send off to you. Pretty good timing. We were near the end of the stream there, and no one else was buying anything, so that was a good time to ask for a box sort, sort of. Let's see, where did I put this K-box? Here it is. All right. All right. And let's grab this. I put in a ZELLE, says Joey Elbrecht. All right, have no fear. We're going to get to that ZELLE. Good. Now, for all this, huh? Do we have like a big box? That'd be nice. Your mom's got a big box. A Final Fantasy sized box would be perfect, but I don't think we have any empty Final Fantasy boxes, do we? This one's almost empty. All right. Yeah, Final Fantasy box. These boxes are extra big. They hold a lot. Okay. Start popping these in here. Who's in the Flareon Battle 6? Brandon Boutillier. Mr. Brandon's in there. Scooby-Doo. All right. Okay. I'll see you later on Pikachu, everyone. Look at all those cards, man. It's a lot of cards. All right, so now we'll just give Alexis a label. Let me think about how she'll probably ship this. You probably have slabs too, right? I'll give her 2 labels. That's what I'll do. Okay. She's pretty good. We'll make them 2-pound labels. Do you think about PSA cards moving in their holders? I guess it's inevitable. What do you think about PSA cards moving in their holders? Oh, yeah, that one guy tested it, didn't he? What he did was he took a whole bunch of PSA no, not a whole bunch of PSA cards. He took a PSA card and he built a little machine that would shake the card over a long period of time. And what he noted was, over a long period of time, shaking the card over and over again eventually results in the card taking a little bit of damage in the holder. So, I mean, yeah, it's probably not good for the card that it can move. My advice would be, don't shake your cards. That would be my advice. Don't shake them. But it's very interesting because you have to think, some cards are PSA 10, but they might be very fragile. Like they might have corners where the paint has begun to chip, but it hasn't fully chipped. And so it got the 10. And then if you think of it getting shaken up for a couple years, 10 years, 20 years, just naturally, maybe that little bit of paint chips off and now it's got a white dot on the back. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't worry about it too much, you know. I don't worry about it too much. All right. Woo, that's heavy. That's a lot of cards. Mr. Jeff's shipping all ready to go. Very nice. Good to get that out of the way. Now we've got these leftover Final Fantasy Hidden Legends. I know I'm not going to be able to find these next time someone orders them. I put these into a bag and put them up on the table. Mister, it's 7 semi-rigids now, question mark. Yeah, let's take a quick look. You're curious what you got. What is this? Oh, okay. So, 1, 2, that's the new pack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right, 7 semi-rigids. Here it is. Do, 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 do. TCC, how's your life, sir? Pretty boring, nothing crazy. Boring's good. Nothing crazy is going on. Nothing real bad's going on. We let go of our cats. We rehomed them, so we are catless now. We have no pets. And we are just getting ready to save up and move to a new home. We want to upgrade to a new home. And maybe not a bigger home, but just a home and a more desirable place to live in the world. Fancier place, more prestigious place. So we have an order over here from Joey Albrecht, a big one. He says 120 towards my slab away. Let's go over there. Okay. Minus 120, 7345. Boom. All right, you got it. 7345. 10 pokey shuffles and 3 hidden trails. These? No, those are hidden legends. No pets and no coughing. Yeah, no kitties. Well, we think the cats were the cause of the chronic cough. Do you guys remember the chronic cough? We think it was actually cat ammonia from the cat litter boxes and all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once we realized that, it was an easy choice. I'm not gonna dive kitty cat lung cancer. Not looking to that. Rotom, Cerulege. Okay. All right. Looks like you're picking up a Cerulege. Also says -5 on it. So that means we're going to take this bad boy. Now we wait if it comes back. If I cough like that again, if I get this consistent cough, we're going to have to assume that maybe it was caused by something else. Okay. So that's at $135 now, and let's go grab you your Cerulege. It's coming. Oh, we gotta put this. Oh, there we go. Okay, that fits. Gotta be careful here. We don't want anything falling over. That's this one. Oh, that's not bad. Good. Or both, because Mister, you sound great. I'm feeling fine. No problems today. Still having some back problems, actually. I'm having a little back pain, but, you know, I'm just not complaining about it as much. So, 3 hidden trials. I twisted my back, and I think, you know, when you hurt your back, it's so easy to re-injure it. So I twisted my back, and it was so frustrating. Let's see. Oh, here they are. Found them. Started keeping them over here for some reason. All right, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Here's this. I have lower right back pain. Yeah. Exactly. I actually have something very similar to that. It hurts if I twist my body to the left, but not as much if I twist my body to the right. But it feels really messed up on the right side. Really weird. Here's Knight, and here's Old Man Problems. And Soul Cage. Late night stream? Oh yeah, there'll be a late night stream. There will be a late night stream. We don't like to miss the late night stream at all. Of course, the daytime stream's kind of moved up in its importance. I feel like we get a lot done in the daytime stream for sure. Here's Joey Albrecht. Okay, with the J-O, you're right here. Thanks, Mr. Joseph. Go get a nice massage. All right, but only if it's from another man. Here's Sylveon. Nah, I can't imagine myself getting massages. It's so weird. Cyndaquil, Absol, and this lovely Tyranitar. Ooh. So Dylan Chan wants 2 more Magical Girl boxes. I have enough of them. All right, let's see. Right here. Okay. Oops. Please be careful with your back. I had 9 spine surgeries and getting ready for 10 because of 9/11 injury. Oof. It sounds like a lot of work, man. Yeah, you're right. Everyone should be careful with their backs. If I could talk to young me again, what I would say is you're underestimating how bad it is to struggle with back pain. That's why I would warn myself. I'd be like, don't do it. They don't pay $9 an hour is not good enough to ruin your back. Take your time. All right, here we are. So if you got a labor job right now, don't rush it. And keep your back straight. Don't twist while lifting something heavy, and never lift anything too heavy. Just no point. Yes. All right. Let's see. We've got pack number 1. So we got 2 more cases of this Magical Girl sets coming in because it was so popular. So after this case is done, and I think it will finish, we'll have another 2 cases. Yes, I just can't figure out why it's so popular. It's really popular for some reason. They like it. They really, really like it. No major card sets coming in this week, though. I haven't ordered any cards in like a whole week. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What should we be adding to the menu? There's some card set that's out that's really popular that I'm not aware of. I know we're waiting on the new black and white Pokemon. I know we're waiting on the new Destined Rivals, which is coming at the end of May. And then One Piece, we're waiting on OP12, but that comes out in August, right? Like middle of the August. So I don't think that's coming out soon. Here we are. So there's some kind of intermediary OP set coming out that I don't know about. Some middle of the... Here it is. Very nice. Mister thought he was 18. Wife beat him up. Here it is. Very nice. Did the pack list go off? The pack list. What's the pack list? All right. Mr. Universe cards are very good. Universe cards. And here's... Cold. Very nice. Pack list for the promo pack of Magical Girls. Oh, yes, that did go off. The first round of that is done. We're in a new case. The first round did go off. Jeff Leon pulled the promo pack, and it had a signature in it. So it's a very significant thing. And we started a new list. You can see Ben's on it, and Dylan's on it 3 times. He's actually on it 4 times now. Dylan's got 4 spots in here. There you go, Mr. Dylan. It's a new set and very hot right now. English EB2 came out last week. Ooh, the English EB2. You think I should be buying that? Let's get your other box, Mr. Dylan. One more box. Here it is. Wait, I ordered 2 boxes. Yeah, I can see you've ordered 2 boxes. Okay. Dylan might have ordered 2 boxes, everybody. That's why I'm thinking 2 of these. English EB2, kind of a disappointment with pull rates. Yeah, I kind of didn't buy it. Notice that? I didn't buy it, and that's because I didn't want to deal with it. Japanese EB2 did very poorly, and so as a result, I just ignored English EB2. I have a machine that helps with pain and walking. Wow. Crazy. There it is. All right. Very nice. Okay. Tossing this. Dylan Chan. All right. Well, one of the things I've learned with having some chronic lower back problems is that, you know, there's like some depression with it at first when you realize your range of movement has been limited. But you also kind of adjust to it too, you know, and then after a while, you're just happy to be up. You know, it gets better. Here it is. Because, man, I was real springy when I was younger and didn't worry about my back. Now I move all careful. It's like a whole process you go through. Wow, there's a bit of a nip slip in that. Crazy, dude. Here's, let's see, this card. The blue pack is always an SP pull. Huh, that's crazy. There is a promo packs, but they were part of a special bundle. Here it is. All right. Are you saying that the promos are not always available? Very good. Ivan, you have Cyborg. How about the one guy who's fully disabled, and he got the Neuralink, and he's so disabled he can't talk, right? And he just got the Neuralink, and now he can communicate using a computer, and they used an AI to sort of mimic his voice, and so now he can talk again through a computer. I mean, that's straight up telepathy, I think that's how you say it. I was so impressed with that when they showed that like last week in the news that I went and I bought $5,000 of Tesla stock, which is like not a lot of money, but I was like, I got to do it because it's just so crazy that they're accomplishing something so significant, and it's the first time I've seen that. Yes, gotta love technology. All right, there we go, Mr. Dylan Chan. That's your second box, so we got to give you more cards into your bag, and we got to put your name on the list again. Hello, Josh. Oh, I hate this song, actually. Wait a second. That's the part I don't like. We're going to hit play on this. I wonder what it would feel like if I played the Pokemon music, but I really slowed it down. So, Dylan Chan. He's got 6 as well. Dang, Dylan. The promos have exclusive art. The risque ones being worth more than the low-end Siggies. Oh, nice. The risque. Okay. So Danny St. Morris says he'll take the Jolteon Reverse Holo. Was that one that I just put into this box? Was it on the table, or did I just put it away? Perchance. Ah, here it is. Got it. That was an Anthony card. Good. So Anthony just got a little bit more money. Okay, so he's up to 21 now. So I sold it for $29. He gets $21. That's what it looks like. Okay, and now it says Danny St. Morris on the back. Okay. I'm interested in the pay later slab thing. It's called Slab Away. Let me read about it in our Discord, or in our channel. So let's just jump over here real fast. We'll click on this live. Close this. These stupid ads. Okay, so here's our live chat. We're going to close our live chat. We're going to open this. We're going to open our details. And we're going to scroll all the way down here. Slab Away. Pay down slabs over time. $40. $20 fee plus $20 down payment. Add 6 more months for $20. Must be paid by 6 months. Half paid by 3 months. Cancel fee is $20 plus the price drop plus the PayPal fee. Track progress in Discord. So there it is. That's Slab Away. Very popular. What you want to do is you want to pick out a slab that you think is going to go up, not down over time, and pay that down at your convenience. But make sure you make a payment or two within the first 3 months, and then it has to be finished within 6 months. If you need more time at that point, then I would pay another $20 and extend it to a year. We've been hosting Slab Away for how long? Has it been 3 years or 4 years? It's been a long time. All right. Too late on the lifting and the twisting. No. All right, guys. I think that's it. I think we're done. We finished the stream an hour and a half in. We had a nice over 100 viewers for the daytime stream. That's really solid. We've got more Tammy slabs to price. Look at this. Here's a Tammy slab. Here's a Rocket Returns Tammy slab. So we got more Tammy slabs coming up. And I look forward to pricing these for you guys. So Be sure to show up to the nighttime stream, which starts around 1:30 a.m. Central Time. Pretty late at night. We call it the late night stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys there, okay? You guys have a nice Monday daytime. See you later, everybody. Yo, Weiss Schwartz is doing interspecies reviewer. That's going to be crazy, dude. I know. That was the set my supplier wanted me to buy early. See you later, everyone.